Welcome to the next episode of Monday Mindset Matters. These quick meet-of-the-moment episodes offer you some tools and biblical encouragement to help you, the Christian educator, no matter what role you have on campus, stay connected, stay grounded, and stay prayed up so you can be the light in the middle of this trauma-responsive movement. So, let's get right to it.
Welcome to the Society's Child podcast, where we have real conversations about being a trauma-responsive educator in the midst of a significant mental health crisis. Hi, I'm Trish Senzak, a former educator, compassion advocate, and Jesus lover, and I'm so grateful that you're here. Are you feeling confuzzled about your students' behavior and needs? You're not alone. If trauma-informed strategies leave you wondering, what's next? Don't worry. My friend, I've been there too. As a foster mom and a child of complex trauma mixed with my experience as a teacher, it's led me to finding a compassionate, whole child approach that's evidence-based, practical, and transformational, and I'm so eager to share it with you. Whether you want to connect with your students on a deeper level, create a trauma-sensitive environment, or you just need a little bit of encouragement or support, you're in the right place. So grab a drink, a pen, or your earbuds, and let's work together to create a safe and student-attuned trauma-responsive school culture. Society's children need you, so let's get started.
Welcome back to our Summer of Healing series. So why am I doing this for educators? When I first started teaching, I realized in looking back, I was a hot mess. I was a hot mess from the word go. I was extremely dysfunctional. I was yelling at my kids. I wasn't taking things seriously when it came to my teaching. I was just literally showing up every day, trying to do what I needed to do just simply to get by. And so what I would really like to encourage educators to do is think about how we can become a better self for our kids and really live with that intentionality. So today's scripture that I want to encourage you with comes from Ephesians 4:22 through 23. You were taught with regard to your former way of life, to put off your old self, which is being corrupted by its deceitful desires, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness. And so, my friends, I really want to encourage you with this particular scripture to not only look at your relationship with God and your life in general, but your education, your teaching, your time with your kids, with whatever you're doing in the classroom and in your personal life, all of it comes together and comes out in our teaching. Personal development, or looking at myself and working towards change, has been one of the best tools that I've had. So today, this week, I want to focus on the decision behind making the change. Deciding to change, deciding to be self-aware. We talked in the previous weeks about self-awareness and becoming aware of an area that we want to work on. As we reflect on this scripture, I really want you to think about the power of making a deliberate decision to pursue that healing. Ultimately, this affects our kids. If we have a better mindset and a better ability to look at our own behaviors, we're able to have a better understanding with students. We're able to have true empathy and be able to work with them and have better connections and better relationships with them. And so therefore, our classroom management actually turns out to be a little more easy to handle if we start working and pursuing our own healing. So what does it take to decide? And this is where I really want to encourage you to listen in on Wednesday, because we're going to dive into this pretty deep. I'm going to give you an acronym and we'll talk about this, but the D is for determine your direction. Where are you looking to make that healing? Then engage with the scripture and ask God to show you in the scriptures what you need to work on. Commit to that change that you're going to make. This is where you decide, what am I going to work on? Implement those new practices that you put in. That's the I. And then D is develop support systems. Find people that are going to be able to work with you on this and come alongside you, motivate you, and mentor you. And then E is evaluate your progress. And we're going to talk about each of those in depth on Wednesday's episode. But for right now, I just want to encourage you to seek God's guidance, asking yourself, what do I want to do to change, and deciding to change? Because having this kind of intentionality especially as it pertains to our students and in our classroom, it's helpful. It leads to a growth mindset. Then it gives us focus and clarity and purpose and direction. It also helps us believe in our own ability to change. It's crucial because if we don't believe that we can do it, it's very difficult to make a deliberate decision that reinforces that belief of what you're trying to change. Stepping into this, making this decision, increasing confidence in this area, it's most likely going to lead you to a successful healing. Most importantly, I want to encourage you to lean into God. Lean into your relationship with Him. Where is He asking you to change? This is not for me to decide what you're changing. I'm not going to tell anyone where they need to change specifically, but I do believe that we each need to become aware and make that decision. By seeking God's guidance in this decision-making process, it could be a lot more clear as we begin to set our goals. Here is what I would want to encourage you to do this week as your takeaways. Number one, I want to encourage you to seek out God's guidance on this. That's the very first thing that's important. Because if we're not asking Him where He wants us to change, it's going to be a very difficult thing for us to even think about doing. The direction that we go won't be driven by Him. The second thing I want to encourage you to do is set some goals around this. What are you going to do to take care of the steps that you're going to take? So ask yourself, what are my goals? And we'll be talking a little bit more about that in the upcoming episodes. And then I also want to encourage you to start thinking about who would you ask to come alongside you. Seek out some friends and say, hey, I'm doing this summer healing series, and I'm really looking for tiny steps in my direction of change. Can you help me with this? Can you speak into my life? I don't know what this looks like right now, but I want to encourage you to be there with me. If you can do this with a friend and get them ready and get them in your corner, this process this summer is going to be a little bit more enlightening for you. And then you'll be able to align up people, not just for the summer, but for the whole season to come. I also want to encourage you here about listening into the upcoming episodes because we are talking about this in depth. And we're going to be talking about going from the stage of awareness all the way to action. And we're going to be talking about how you can do this and motivating you and scriptures along the way. And we're going to be talking about how we can do this in community. I hope this is helpful and that this Monday Mindset Matters is something that leads you into an intentional journey of change. See you on the next episode, my friends. If you're looking for ways to build more peace in your career, I've created a list of 75 affirmations based on 25 Bible scriptures, and I'd love to share it with you and help you keep your sanity. You can go to trishz.com/Bible-AFFS. That's AFFS for affirmations. I'll also leave the link in the show notes for you, too. I hope you found something encouraging and inspiring in this episode of Monday Mindset Matters. It is my hope that these episodes meet you right where you are because your Monday mindset matters. More importantly, your mindset matters all the time. Remember, stay connected, stay grounded, and stay prayed up. Our kids depend on it. Hey, amazing educators, thanks for tuning in. If you found this episode helpful, I'd love for you to hit subscribe and leave a review. Even better, share this episode with a colleague. And hey, I'd love to connect with you on social media. You can even join my Facebook group for some extra support and a dash of inspiration. I've left all the links in the show notes. Until next time, my friend, remember, you're not alone on this journey. You've got this. Keep making a difference and stay teach-tastic.